Namaste and welcome to Vinyasa Flow Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua. We had a request for releasing tension in the lower back, and that goes along with our theme this week of spinal twists. So grab a couple of blocks and a strap, and I invite you to start in some form of hero's pose. You may like to take a block and place it in between your ankles to sit on as you place the knees in front of you. And just to help safely align your knees, make sure that your feet are neither turned out or turned in behind you, but your toes are pointing directly back. So you may have heard this excerpt from the Bhagavad Gita. Yoga is the journey of the self, through the self, to the self. We talk a lot about uncovering our divine nature, that which is a part of all of consciousness. And we use these different practices from the yamas and niyamas of how we live in the world, how we connect with ourselves, to the physical postures of enabling our bodies to release tension we might be carrying, and to invite balanced energy flow, to the practices of tuning inward, breath work, meditation, all for the sake of connecting with that inner nature, Satnam. And through this process, whichever of those 8 limbs of yoga you're practicing, we always have the opportunity to continue that practice I discussed about on Monday, Svadhyaya, self-study, that study of our ways of doing, thinking, being, and what drives us consciously and unconsciously in how we relate to ourselves and how we interact with the world, with life, with each other. And so from this awakened state of being, we hope to bring the practice outside of the physical poses into how we lead our lives, how we allow ourselves to live in freedom from the inhibitions of the ego mind or whatever it may be, coming back to our true nature and how we see each other. So with that, let's begin with the physical body, going deeper and deeper inward at the end, practicing meditation. So as you're sitting still here now, maybe close the eyes, maybe rest a hand at your heart center, middle of your chest, and a hand at your lower belly, observing what you are feeling in your physical body. Sensing the way the breath is flowing naturally. Observing your energy. Observing your mind. Any patterns of thoughts that have been looping and affecting how you feel right now emotionally. So checking in with these different layers of your being. Let the breath in a little deeper. Opening the lips as you empty it. Longer inhales. Longer exhales. What is something you appreciate in this moment? Maybe the fact that you're here in your practice, having made time and energy for it. Sometimes that can be the more challenging part. And from this perspective of gratitude, clarify what you would like to invite into your experience. Set your intention for this practice. And then making an offering of your efforts, choose someone you'd like to dedicate today's practice to, sending them loving kindness. Let's join our voices to create resonance as we practice together by chanting Om 3 times. Inhaling. remember to tune into your body and pace yourself as your body's asking you to. Take rest if and when you need. And remember that there are various ways to practice the different postures. So choose with discernment what's most appropriate for you. Now let's help the mind to focus and bring balance to our energies so that it's both easeful and steady, that we begin to move the body. Practicing Ujjayi Pranayama, or victorious breathing. So closing the lips, if you can, just breathe slowly through the nose. Balance the inhale as slow as the exhale, and gently narrow or softly constrict the back of your throat so that you can listen to a very gentle whispering sound to the breath. Now listen to a couple of cycles of that here. Let the way you're regulating your breathing affect the way you feel physically and mentally, and see if you can keep this slow rhythm going through most of this physical yoga practice. So listening to that, let's begin to move. Sitting up a little taller, breathe in as you sweep the arms overhead and interlace the fingers, flipping the palms inside out. Draw the shoulders down and exhale, begin to side bend to your left side, rooting the right sitting bone deeper into your seat. Inhale, rise up to center. Then exhale, side bend to the other side, rooting the left sitting bone down. Inhale, center, and follow your breath. 2 more on each side. Exhale, lean, shoulders down the back, front ribs hugging in. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lean. So as I mentioned, we're going to be practicing spinal twists. So we're just getting the spine ready for that, warming up those twisting muscles as we bring the spine into lateral extension and lateral flexion. And then come up through center, breathe in. Now keep each knee equidistant to the edge of the mat in front of it. As you exhale, rotate your rib cage to the left side, and then open the arms wide apart like a T. Stay here, press both sitting bones down, and lift from the bottom of your spine up each vertebra through your crown. Without turning the pelvis, continue to spin the rib cage, so you're just purely using the muscles of your obliques that's along the sides of your waist. They're part of your core muscles we use for twisting. Now lower the left hand behind you and place the back of the right hand against your outer left thigh. If that causes you to round forward, then you can place your hand on your lap if that's easier. Couple more deep breaths. As you inhale, press down through the pelvis and lift up through the crown. As you exhale, keep the chest open, keep the shoulders relaxed, and invite the twist to happen mostly right beneath your lowest ribs, which is your waistline. Inhale, look forward, raise the arms up. Again, keep your pelvis still, and exhale, twist to the other side and open your arms wide apart like a T. Spend a couple of breaths here, keeping the arms wide, draw both shoulders down, lift up through the center of your spine. Exhaling as you intend to deepen the twist, whether or not you see it happening. Now take a look at your knees and make sure that your left knee is not creeping forward more than your right knee, which indicates you're trying to twist at the pelvis. Leave the pelvis still, stabilize the lower back, lower the right hand behind you, and press the back of the left hand against your outer right thigh or the middle of your lap. Rooting down and lifting as you breathe in, and continuing to twist as you breathe out. Can you feel those muscles along the sides of your waist at work? So twists can be helpful in releasing tension along the spine, such as the lower back, as well as helping to stimulate, as we go deeper into twists, our digestion. With an exhale, unwind, and let's make our way to stand in mountain pose at the front of your mat. You might like to have your blocks in front of your feet, about a foot ahead. Separate your feet, your hips distance apart, parallel to each other. And then bring your hands together in prayer. This is called Padasana. Center in on your intention again for this practice. Moving with gratitude as we honor the sun, a great source of energy for all of us. Let's begin Sun Salutation C, or Surya Namaskar C. Empty this breath. And as you inhale, sweep your arms forward, roll the shoulders back and down and tilt your chest up. Then exhale, feel free to bend the knees as you bow over your legs. Plant your fingertips on the ground. Inhale, step the left knee behind you. Kneeling lunge, gaze up. As you hold your breath, step into plank pose. Exhale, lower your knees, then your chest, then your chin, pointing the tailbone up, Ashtangasana. Inhale, slither forward onto your belly, coiling your chest up, Cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes and lift your hips back, Downward Facing Dog. Inhale, step your left foot forward beside your left thumb, lower your right knee and gaze up. Exhale, step your right foot forward and bow. Inhale, slowly rise, raise the arms and drop the shoulders back in Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, join your hands together at heart center. One more, second side. Inhale, sweep the arms up, gaze up. Exhale, bow forward. Plant your fingertips. Inhale, step the right knee back, gaze up. Hold your breath as you step to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, then chin. Draw the shoulders back and firm the belly in. Inhale, slither forward into Cobra pose. Round through the tops of your feet. Exhale, lift your hips back, Downward Facing Dog. Inhale, step your right foot forward beside your right thumb. Lower your left knee, gaze up. Exhale, step your left foot forward and bow. Inhale, root down, rise all the way. Shoulders relaxed. Exhale, trace your hands in prayer from crown to heart center. Let's move into Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, sweep the arms, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bow forward, Uttanasana. This time, press your fingertips on your shins, blocks, or the floor, and inhale as you lengthen the spine forward. Step back to plank and let's pause there for a few breaths. Legs straight or lower the knees for more support. Lift the sides of your belly and rotate your triceps towards your rear wall. Lengthen the neck. And on your next exhale, glide forward. Bend your elbows back 90 degrees so they graze your side ribs. Pause. This is Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to lower in Cobra or flip the toes here, Upward Facing Dog. Exhale, Downward Facing Dog. Spend a few breaths if your body needs to move it around. Maybe pedaling your feet in place to warm up the backs of your legs. Maybe shaking and nodding your head to loosen your neck. Notice how you're breathing. Come back to that even rhythm you started with. Steady your eyes on one spot and let your body be still as you listen to one full breath. Once you've emptied it, walk or lightly jump to the top of your mat, forward fold. Press with your hands, inhale forward to Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, slowly rise to Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands together at the heart. Let's keep going now in a continuous flow. 2 more cycles of Sun Salutation A. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen forward. Step back to plank and exhale, glide forward and lower through Chaturanga Dandasana. Choose either cobra or upward facing dog as you breathe in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let the body be still for 3 deep breaths. When you finish the third, walk or lightly jump to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale to heart center. Take the last one on your own. We'll meet here in mountain pose. Breathe in to lift. Breathe out to lower. Follow your pace of breath. And as you're doing that, I'm just going to make this a little louder. This is a mantra I'd like to point out that's playing in the background. And it's a mantra honoring the deity Hanuman. And it doesn't mean you have to worship the deity Hanuman, but you can draw on the quality that Hanuman represents, the archetype of strength through devotion. So as you continue your practice of the salutation, bring the energy of your intention into why you're here, why you're showing up, moving your body, connecting to breath. Back to your bigger picture, and then stay in downward dog for 3 deep breaths. When you're ready, walk or float to the top of your mat. Finish your sun salutation A, standing in mountain pose, hands together at the heart. Just like we create a meditative movement through repetition and continuous flow of breath that we're regulating, mantras can do the same. Bring us into that steady mind. So let's continue to sun salutations B. Bring the inner edges of your feet together to touch and empty this breath. Inhale, sit low, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, shift forward and fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen forward, step to plank or float into Chaturanga Dandasana. Take it to your Vinyasa here. When you arrive in downward dog, keep your hips leveled and inhale, raise the right leg behind you. Exhale, gently step the foot forward beside right thumb. Spin left heel down and inhale, rise fully into Warrior One. Ride your exhalation down into your Vinyasa. Downward dog, inhale, lift left leg back. Exhale the foot forward beside left thumb, spin the right heel down. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, Vinyasa. Pause in downward facing dog for 3 breaths again, rebalancing and slowing down the breath. When you've emptied the third, walk or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees together. Inhale, chair or Utkatasana. Exhale, rise up. All right, so let's set the feet apart here, hips distance parallel. Bring your hands behind you either to clasp or grab a strap to hold between the hands. As you inhale, roll the shoulders back, look up. Exhale, shift your weight forward and hinge from your hips. Feel free to bend the knees if that lets you release the spine more freely. Let's stay a few breaths. Stretching the arms away from your lower back. Help to open up the front of your shoulders. Lifting the shoulders, open up space in the neck. Notice how your energy feels at this point, and use your discernment how you'll encounter that or relate to that. Does it make most sense to take another vinyasa, or take a few cat-cows, or step back directly into downward facing dog? Let's meet there. When you arrive in Adho Mukha Svanasana, spend a few breaths fine-tuning how you create space in your body. Spread the fingers flat. Rotate your triceps towards the ground. Relax your neck as you lift the shoulders and hips back, pressing the chest towards your shins. Hug your front ribs towards your back. As you keep your hips leveled in height, inhale, raise the right leg behind you from the inseam. Exhale, bend the knee towards your nose and round forward. Step the foot gently beside your right thumb into a high lunge. Then inhale, rise up into crescent pose. Pause for one cycle of breath. Spin your left heel down and align your right heel to intersect the arch of your left foot. Then straighten your legs for triangle pose. Glide your hips towards the rear edge of your mat and lengthen your torso towards the front wall. Place your right fingertips on your right leg or just to the right side of it on a block or the floor. Remember, you don't want to put all your weight down into that right hand, so press down with your right fingertips and lift up through the left arm towards the sky. Draw your right outer hip beneath you and tack the crease of your right hip back towards your left outer foot. Lengthen the crown of your head towards the front wall as you slide the shoulders down your back, spinning your chest slightly to face the sky. Steady your gaze on one point for about 4 more breaths here in Trikonasana, triangle pose. Let's bring this same shape in your body into a standing balancing posture, half moon. Gaze at the ground ahead of your right foot and walk your right hand about 6 inches forward to the right of that foot. Drag your left foot forward and flex it off the floor, keeping the right foot exactly as it was in triangle. Recreate the shape of triangle. How is your breathing? Ardha Chandrasana. About 3 more deep breaths here. On your next exhale, softly as you can, step the left foot back, keep the right knee bent, entering peaceful warrior, where you side bend towards the rear wall, raising your right arm overhead. Either gently land your left hand on your left leg or wrap the arm behind you. Make sure your right knee continues to point down the midline of your mat. Imagine breathing deeper into your right lung. One more deep in-breath. Exhale your hands to the ground, optional to flow on your own, Vinyasa or cat-cow or take rest. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Feel the top of the next inhalation and take just the slow to empty the breath. Keep your hips leveled. Inhale, raise the left leg behind you. Exhale, bend the knee towards your nose and softly land the foot beside your left thumb. High lunge. Inhale, rise up, crescent pose. Pause for a full cycle of breath. Then spin your right heel down and align your left heel to intersect the arch of your right foot. Straighten both legs, open the arms for triangle. Glide your hips towards your rear wall Lengthen your torso towards the front and place the left hand on your left leg or just to the left of it. Spin your chest towards the sky. And as you tack your left hip crease back, keep lengthening your crown towards your front wall. 4 more deep breaths in Trikonasana. Gaze at the ground ahead of your left foot for Ardha Chandrasana. Walk the left hand forward and to the left and drag your right foot in, flexing it off the floor. Find the feeling of triangle pose in your body and reconnect to the sound of your breath. Half moon pose. Take your time, stepping the right foot back to the floor. Keep your left knee bent in peaceful warrior. Sweeping the left arm overhead towards your rear wall. Right hand on right leg or wrap behind you. Imagine breathing deeper into your left lung. With an exhale, cartwheel your hands to the floor, optional vinyasa. We'll meet in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Bend your knees, then walk or lightly jump to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Separate your feet hips width apart here and place a block to frame, place each block to frame your heels and bring your hands to your hips. Inhale to rise. Now step your left foot back 2/3 as far as you did in Warrior One, keeping your legs straight as we prepare for twisting triangle pose. Keep your hips evenly facing forward and energize your legs by spreading the toes and pressing down firmly through all of your feet. Keep your right hand on your right hip just to encourage your 2 hips to equally face forward. Raise the left arm up, relax the shoulders, hug the front ribs in, and as you inhale, lengthen your spine forward parallel to the ground. Place the left hand down on either block. The left one would be easier to start. Then keep the hips balanced and exhale, twist to the right, raise the right arm up. With each inhalation, press down to your feet and continue to lengthen your spine down the midline of your mat. Firm your outer hips towards each other as you exhale to keep turning the rib cage. Now optional, if your balance feels pretty stable, to go a little deeper into the twist and place the left hand on the right side of your front foot on a block of the floor. This posture in Sanskrit is called Parita Trikonasana. Let's explore for another 3 breaths here. Now gaze at your right foot and lower your hands to frame it, maybe on both blocks. Lift your heart as you inhale and exhale, hinge forward from your hips, breath by breath in pyramid pose, Parsvottanasana. Now, if your right hamstring feels pretty warm, you might lift the ball of your right foot flexed. Isometrically drag the heel back as you lengthen your chest forward. Set the right foot flat on the floor and microbend the right knee as you gaze ahead of your mat, shifting into Warrior Three. Lift your left leg from the inseam and flex the foot as you turn the left outer hip to face the ground. Optional to lower your hands on blocks or the floor. Find that balancing of the two hips as you lift through the sides of your belly. Draw your torso forward. Virabhadrasana 3. Now let's add another twist. Place the left hand down on a block or the floor, 1 foot in front of your right big toe. Keep each leg in their separate lanes and flex the left foot. With the right hand, gently draw right outer hip back. As you breathe in, lengthen through the midline of your body, creating that strong horizontal line. Keep the pelvis still and exhale, begin to rotate your chest to the right, just like you did in twisting triangle. Raise the right arm up, and this is twisting half moon pose. Parita Ardha Chandrasana. Each inhale, keep lengthening through your center line. Each exhale, continue to twist at your waistline. Gaze down, lower both hands, standing splits. Inhale, lift the chest. Keep lifting your left leg from the inseam as you bow towards your right shin. You might explore walking the hands closer to your right foot. Maybe wrap an arm or both around the calf. Soften the back of your neck. Step the left foot next to the right, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Place your blocks again to frame both heels, feet hips width apart. Then bring your hands to your hips and inhale to rise. Now let's step the right foot back 2/3 as far as you did in Warrior One. Grounding both feet entirely with both hips facing forward, legs straight. So make sure your feet are in their separate lanes here, about hips width apart, so it doesn't feel like you're trying to balance on a tightrope. Keep the left hand on the left hip, just drawing it back as you raise the right arm. Inhale, lengthen your spine forward, parallel to the ground. Lower the right hand to start on the right side of the foot, block or the floor. Exhale, keep the pelvis still and begin twisting to the left. Raise your left arm up. Twisting triangle pose. Parita Trikonasana. Breath by breath, exploring the range of your twist, with an option to place the right hand on the left side of your front foot. Tune into a couple last breaths here. Gaze at your left foot and frame it with both hands on blocks or the floor. Inhale, lift your heart forward, lengthen your spine. Exhale, begin to hinge little by little from the hips. Pyramid pose, Parsvottanasana. If on this side your hamstring feels really warm, you might lift the ball of your left foot flexed. Microbend your left knee, gaze ahead of your mats, and tilt your weight all the way forward into Warrior Three. Flex your right foot off the ground, creating a horizontal line. Squaring your hips, lifting the sides of your belly. Virabhadrasana 3. Place your right fingertips a foot in front of your left big toe. Flex the right foot and lengthen the torso forward as you breathe in. With the left hand, draw the left hip back and begin to twist to the left. Twisting half moon pose. Parita Ardha Chandrasana. Lower the left hand beside the right, standing splits. Inhale, lift your chest, and raise your right leg from the inseam. Exhale as you bow towards the left shin. Optional to walk your hands closer to your left foot. Maybe wrap an arm or two around the calf. Lower right foot next to the left. Forward fold. Let's separate the feet wider than hips distance apart and turn out the thighs from the hips, bending the knees in your version of Malasana, a squat. You could sit on blocks, you could hover your pelvis off the ground, use your arms to splay open your inner thighs and lengthen your spine vertically, relax the shoulders. Tune into a few breaths as you balance in and out. Let's add another twist here. Cross the left arm in front of the left leg and raise the right arm. Sink the hips, inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, continue to twist to your right. Optional to wrap the right arm behind you or to wrap both. 3 more breaths. Come back to center in your squat. Full cycle of breath here. Then cross the opposite arm in front of the leg and twist. Maybe add a wrap. Once more, come back through center, 1 cycle of breath. Parallel your feet, and let's step into plank pose. Pause for at least a cycle of breath here. Then take your time to very slowly lower through Chaturanga Dandasana. Maybe pause there before you lower all the way down. Rest your forehead on the ground. Let's prepare for bow pose. Dhanurasana, 2 rounds. Slide your knees close together and bend them. Reach back with your hands to catch inner or outer feet. Press your pubic bone into the ground and kick your feet away as you pull them towards you. Lifting your knees no wider apart than hips distance, coil your chest up and look slightly down to lengthen the back of your neck. Count about 5 breaths or so before you lower to rest. When you've come down, be still and observe anything you notice inward. Then as you're ready, practice your last bow pose for 5 or more breaths. And once again, rest for 3 breaths. Please press up to stand on your knees for our last 2 back bends. Camel pose. Grab a block and by the skinniest width, hug it firmly between your knees and thighs to help support your lower back. Tuck your toes behind you and backstroke your arms. Place your hands on your lower back with fingertips face down. Focus on lengthening the lower back. Draw the tailbone actively down and lift the back ribs. Keep your pelvis directly on top of your knees throughout the whole posture. As you breathe in, lift your chest and peel your shoulder heads back. Press the shoulder blades down and hug your elbows closer together. Imagine your back bending mostly from right under your shoulder blades, giving yourself 5 or more breaths before you come up to sit and rest. Now, if reachable, you can drop a hand down to hold the heel below it, and then switch hands and heels, or hold both. Remember to keep your pelvis stacked above your knees. Deep breaths here, Ustrasana. When you're ready to come up, place your hands on your lower back, rise up, and find a comfortable way to sit, pausing and tuning in for 3 breaths. Then on your own, practice 5 or more breaths in one more camel pose, with or without the block, toes tucked, or flatten the tops of the feet to the ground. And when you've rested for at least 3 breaths, please sit with your legs in front of you, and let's take our last seated spinal twist. Straighten your left leg forward and step your right foot on the ground, either in front of your right hip or crossed outside of your left knee. You might also bend the left knee here. Just make sure your 2 sitting bones are evenly grounded and you're able to sit tall with the shoulders relaxed. Place the right hand behind your pelvis, raise the left arm, and breathe in as you root down to rise up. Breathe out, twist at your waistline to the right. Then lower your left arm to hold your right leg, or to hook your elbow outside of it, continuing your twist for 4 more breaths. As you exhale, unwind your spine. And let's come into either sitting cross-legged or double pigeon pose. Place your right shin forward or on top of your left shin. If you're able to stack your knees and ankles, flex your feet and you're in double pigeon pose. Ground evenly through your sitting bones and lift up through the center of your spine as you breathe in. Exhale little by little, hinge forward from your hips. About 5 breaths. Then press down to your pelvis and breathe in, slowly rise up. Stretch both legs out, maybe shake them out, roll out the feet. And if you can, try to set up the same way for the second side of your spinal twist. Step the left foot either in front of your left hip or crossed outside of your right knee, and maybe bend the right knee too. Place the left hand behind your pelvis, raise your right arm, and root down to rise up as you inhale. Exhale, twist to the left and lower your right arm. Maybe hook the elbow outside of the thigh. 4 more breaths. As you exhale, unwind your spine and cross your left shin forward or on top of your right shin, either sitting cross-legged or double pigeon, where you stack your ankles and knees and flex your feet. Ground your sitting bones and breathe in as you lengthen the spine again. Make sure to keep your throat open so you're hinging from your hips as you breathe out, but not hinging from your neck. Breathe in and slowly rise up. Stretch both legs out in front for Paschimottanasana. Flexing both feet with an option to use a strap around the balls of your feet. Sit up tall, breathe in, and exhale, begin to fold forward. Maybe clasping the big toes. Find a slight lift in your chest. Draw the shoulders back. Hug your front ribs in and hug your outer hips towards your midline. 3 more breaths. Your pelvis, breathe in and lift from your chest, all the way up. Find a comfortable way to sit upright. We're going to practice 2 types of pranayama to help us cool down, tune inward, and prepare for shavasana and meditation. Make sure that you feel grounded, spacious in the torso for the breath to flow easily, and relaxed. So place your hands on your shins or your knees or whatever's in front of you, and we'll start with 3 Simasana pranayama, lion's breaths. We'll inhale through the nose fully, then we'll open the mouth wide, eyes wide, stick out the tongue, and exhale any releasing sound. So this is sort of a cleanse vocally too. So think of anything that you might be ready to release, and you can breathe that out in your mind's eye. Let's start the first. Inhale. Open the mouth wide. Twice more on your own. And now let's prepare for Nodi Shodhana Pranayama, alternate nostril breathing. Now this style of breathing is very soft, gentle, pretty much inaudible. As you rest your left hand on your lap, you might place it in a mudra like thumb and index fingers touching, palm face up, helps to turn the attention deeper inward. Or pran mudra, which is like a peace sign with a palm face up, helps to energize you if you're looking for that. Or thumb and index fingers touching, palms face down to help ground. The right hand, stick out the thumb, pinky, and ring fingers. As you close your lips and breathe, we'll use the right thumb to close the right nostril like this. We'll use the right ring and pinky to close the left nostril like this. Alternate nostril breathing. As you're using this pranayama, steady your inward gaze on one focal point. Maybe one of the 7 chakras that you want to enliven energy in, such as the crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, or root. Prepare to begin. We'll practice 3 cycles together, then 2 cycles on your own. Empty this breath. Hold it out. Right thumb close, right nostril, inhale through the left. Hold the breath. Close left nostril, exhale through the right. Hold the breath. Inhale through right. Hold. Close right. Exhale through left. Hold. Second cycle, Inhale through left slowly. Hold. Close left. Exhale through right slowly. Hold. Inhale through right slowly. Hold. Close right. Exhale through left slowly. Hold. Third cycle. Inhale left. Hold. Close left. Exhale right. Hold. Inhale through right. Hold. Close right. Exhale left. Hold. Continue 2 more cycles on your own. Take your time finishing at your pace. When you finish, breathe naturally and observe how you're feeling. Then gently begin to lower your body to the ground. Find a comfortable way to lie down on the floor and rest in stillness for about 5 minutes in Shavasana before we practice 5 minutes sitting in meditation. As you arrive there, make any last little adjustments so that you can be still and allow your awareness to sink deeper inward. Resting here a little longer with eyes closed. Sense what you're feeling physically now. Starting with small movements, begin to wake up your body out of stillness. Little by little, ease into a simple stretch. And take your time turning over onto your right side, resting your head. Observe a few cycles of natural breath. And notice how you're feeling now energetically. Sense the effect of your practice. As you're ready, begin to find a comfortable seat, rising up, preparing to sit for 5 minutes in meditation. You might place your hands in a mudra, like earlier. You might close your eyes or steady a soft gaze ahead. Feel the surface beneath your body. Let yourself feel grounded. Lift tall through the spine. Feel alert. Relax the shoulders. Find ease. Let's begin. Resting your awareness on the natural breath, wherever you can feel it most easily. If your attention goes astray from the breath, gently re-guide it back. If your attention remains sustained on the breath, let yourself rest deeper inward. Now sense how your mind feels, how your heart feels emotionally. Maybe join your hands to meet at your heart, offering gratitude for anything you appreciate. Recall your intention for this practice. And remember whom you dedicated this practice to. And let's close with 3 chants of Om. Inhale. Bowing in, honoring the guidance, the light within. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thanks for sharing your practice.